Hello everyone and welcome back to another Airline 320 video. It's that time again and welcome back to my Microsoft Flight Simulator hangar. Now, what can you notice differently in here this time, you know? Is it the A310? No, that's a default. A319? Where did that one come from? Yes everybody, I have decided to buy an aeroplane. Again for the Microsoft Flight Simulator. You might have seen my short a few weeks ago where I bought this plane, which I still haven't made a review on yet. That's coming soon probably. But yesterday I was like, what planes am I lacking? And then I was like, I'm lacking an A319 and an A321 CEO. So I thought, why not buy the Phoenix conversions? And so I did, for £40, which is not bad at all considering the amount of realism you get. Now, yes, so you get these four configs, for the A319. By the way, just a quick disclaimer, you cannot buy this unless you've bought the A320 by Phoenix, which costs around £50. Anyway, so you get four configs, so two CFM 56 engines, one with sharklets, which I've never seen an A319 with sharklets before, but I'm sure that exists somewhere. And then you get the IAE again with fenced winglets and the sharklets, which again I've never seen one of these before. And you might be thinking, that's not bad for 40 quid. But wait a second, there's more. You might notice there's an A321. Yes, we also get A321 with the CFM engines with sharklets and fenced winglets, and you get the IAE engines. So I thought, why don't we check out the A319 and the A321 in today's video, because I've already done a video based on the A320 before, so we won't need to worry about these too much. But let's see what differences there is compared to the normal A320 and the A319 and the A321. So let's do the sharklets, because I've been flying around the CFM engines all morning pretty much. We've got British Airways. I've installed a few livery. Let's go with this one. And let's head on down to London Stansted Airport. That's going to be our test airport today. British Airways fly there in real life anyway, so stop complaining. Let's just spawn into a flight and yeah, see you in a minute. Now yes everybody, that didn't take too long at all to load in. Doesn't this look nice? This livery looks nice as well, and apparently from what I've seen, that little nose cone there has been replaced with a white and blue nose cone, because yeah. Anyway, doesn't this look nice? It's it's not the baby bus, but it's also not the big bus. I don't think anyone ever has called the A321 a big bus, but let's start that as a new trend and stuff. So this looks really nice. You can see the animated engine kind of particles. My mouse is terrible, I need a new mouse. Let's talk about our expectations for what we think this is going to fly like. So, as you might be able to tell, this is a considerable amount smaller than the A320. I mean, I've flown on both planes before, and this feels a lot more powerful than the A320. It also probably is more agile, and I imagine that it's going to flare differently to the A320. Now, yes, because it has the same sized wing and the same engines as the A320, I can imagine this is going to be a lot more powerful and a lot more agile. So let's set the flaps to 1. Let's just see how the flight controls respond. There we go. And let's take a look at the cockpit, where of course literally every single button there is in the A320 is modelled, even the seat moves for some reason, and we can go into the cabin and we've got a British Airways cabin modelled. 40 quid this cost. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Last video we were trying out a £10 B52, which was not very good, but this is what you call value for money. There are far more expensive planes for the flight simulator. Now, I want to show you something very impressive. Let's go into the cabin, and I just want to show you how this sounds when you spool up the engines. Listen to this, ready? Here we go, and full power. I do not have any sound packs installed on this plane whatsoever. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That sounds incredible. Now that took off really quickly, to be fair. Let's put the gear up. Look at that. Look at the climb performance. We are on Toga, but it's not even giving me full power, which is a very Airbus thing. For example, if I was to kind of require more power, can I get to trick it into giving me more power? There we go. So if it senses that I need more power, it will give me more power, just like the real plane. Let's put the nose back down to a sensible angle. That's ridiculous. Every single flight logic button, anything like that is 100% modelled on this plane. Now the A321 that they have is also, I imagine, going to be very similar. By the way, let's turn around and land, because we want to try that one out as well. But you can imagine it's going to be the same, and it is the same. I've flown both of these today. I flew the A321 yesterday on a test flight. I went from, I think, Luton to Wrocław or something in Poland, and I've just done some kind of semi-realistic ops, well, very realistic to be fair. I've been using bespoke, what's it called, checklists, everything like that. I'm flying this using everything that you can get for it, and then having all of this scenery in the Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. It just kind of makes you feel like you're there. It's really cool. Look at this, the wing flex. Look at the wing flex. If we just do this, the stabilizers vibrating because of the engine power. It's incredible. Look at that, the flaps are vibrating. Look at, if we put the spoilers, I don't think we can put the spoilers down. Let's arm the spoilers anyway. But like, for example, when they're up, you will be able to see, and I'll show you in a minute, the complexity of everything that's modelled in this flight, in this plane. It's incredible. We're quite high on landing, by the way, so let's just, there we go, let's just dip the nose down. Of course, it's calling out sync rate and pull up, just like the real Airbus. There we go, coming in nicely for a landing at London Stansted Airport. Just ignore the plane that's taking off. I don't have any of the ILS or anything set up, so it's quite hard to see exactly where I am on the glide slope, but we can roughly estimate using the PAPI lights. There we go. We've got the call outs. Oh, it floats, really, it floats a lot more than the A320, holy moly. There we go, look at the spoilers. Look at that system depth there. That float, so that floated really strangely. It almost felt like you were in an A320 but landing a bit too fast, which is what I can imagine this would flare like. Look at that, look at the in-depthness of that. Let's just exit here and then take that off, and then there we go, flaps up, and then let's just stop. So let's take a look at the modelling as well, because I mean this is just insane. I'm suck at taxiing, sorry about that. Just look, you can see it's dirty there where it would be in real life. We're kind of getting blinded by these taxi lights. Airbus A319, that's really cool. And then it's just, you could count literally every single screw there, couldn't you? Now in the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, let's just exit the flight. In the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, you can walk around the plane and interact the plane, but I'm too broke. Maybe I should have bought the Flight Simulator 2024 instead of this plane, but who cares? Now yes, everybody, we are in a plane again. So I thought, we've done the A319's IAE V2500 engines, and no sharklets. So I thought, what is the complete opposite of that? Yes, it's the A321 with CFM engines and sharklets. So I want to kind of get a broader range of what this plane can offer. So that's why we're just looking at the different engines, because it has different systems and stuff that are modelled very well, different spool up kind of behaviours and stuff like that. So again, this looks absolutely magnificent. You can just see it's dirt. There's like bits of dirt just in the right places where they would be in the plane. It just doesn't that just look incredible, doesn't it? Let's see, is there a cabin that's modelled for this? So this is the default cabin actually for the A321. So we can't see the wings. There we go, look at that. Feels like we're in a 757 a little bit because of how long the plane is. But again, I'm gonna let you hear the spool up sounds of the engines. So just turn that up. So here we go. So sorry about that, everybody. The footage just cut off because I didn't have enough storage on my computer, so I'll just delete X-Plane anyway. Anyway, let's spool these engines up and get going. So listen to that.
Cabin crew, arm doors.
And then full power. That sounds crazy. Oh, and